Hi collectors. I hope you enjoyed our little walk around the showroom this afternoon. I had somebody tell me earlier today that my first sentence was being cut off, so we thought we would give it a little bit of just a look and no talking to get everybody in where they need to be. Welcome. It's the first Thursday of the month and it's time for our monthly chat about our villages. I hope all of you had a very happy and safe holiday season and are ready for 2022. And we've got some of the new pieces. We're going to show you some up close and personal pictures of some of these. Rebecca and I have a system going and we hope you can see things really well. So let us know how this new little format's going to work for us. And I'm going to start with a piece in Snow Village that we're real excited about. This is the Chester House. Now the original Todd and Margot's house came out in 2015 and also retired that year. It was the third for the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation series. And I don't know, maybe because of the lack of Christmas decorations, it wasn't terribly popular. And in hindsight, we probably made a mistake by retiring it too early. Todd and Margot Chester were the next door neighbors to the Griswolds, and they didn't celebrate Christmas, so no Christmas decorations on their house. But like the original Todd and Margot's house, this is a licensed piece, which means it was approved by Warner Brothers, who owns the license. They liked the idea of putting this piece back into the line for those collectors who joined the collecting of this popular franchise after the piece had come and gone so quickly. So, 2015, that's a while ago. That's, 7 years ago. So there's been a lot of people join us since then. They were very sad they couldn't get Todd and Margot's house. We have made some changes. Now, the basic color of the house, the shape of the house is the same. There are some differences. Of course, the sisal trees in front are different. The tree on the side is different. The name is different. The packaging is different. The item number is different. If you already are lucky enough to have Todd and Margot's house, you don't need to add the Chester house. But everything we've heard from retailers so far, they're very excited about it. Their phones are ringing off the hook with people wanting to add this to their collection. So I hope you understand why we decided to bring back, in a little different format, the Chester House to National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Is this something we're going to do often? No. We like to think we don't make mistakes too often, but in this case, we probably retired this piece too quickly for our own good. Sometimes it's fun to have a surprise retirement, but in this case, it didn't complete the story the way we wanted it to. So we are bringing this piece back. There's an accessory that goes with it, and I'm going to grab it right here to show you. This is called Simply Gone. And it shows Clark with his dog Snots, which I think Snots was a Rottweiler, talking to, he just answered the door, and Margot's at the door, and the squirrel has leaped up on her chest, and she's now holding the squirrel. And sometimes it's good to show some of the villains or the guilty party, so to speak, from the movie. So there you go. There's a new accessory that goes with it, simply called Gone. I kind of like that one. Okay, and one more thing I'm gonna, because we've had some questions about it, Uncle Lewis. Now you will notice that we have Clark as some of our accessories. We have other people. We have Margot. We have some of the other characters from the movie. We've never done Uncle Lewis, and people have asked about that. Well, sometimes actors have in their contracts that they don't want to have their likenesses as their characters recreated in a situation like this. And that was the case with Uncle Lewis. I don't believe the actor who played Uncle Lewis is still with us, but his estate has said, nope, can't do Uncle Lewis. So don't look for that one to be coming, because we're not going to be able to do Uncle Lewis according to Warner Brothers. So I wanted to give you that information as well. If we can get this unplugged here, Rebecca. No, we don't really need to unplug it. I need to take the cord out. Rebecca's going to be helping me bring these forward. There we go. Okay. I'll just, and this is another National Lampoon Vacation piece. Do I have this? There we go. Okay. This is called I'm in Complete Control, and I am not sure that Clark was ever in complete control. And this is from the opening scene of the movie when Clark and the family were going out in their family roadster to get their Christmas tree. And I mentioned to Rick Jackson this morning, I said, Rick, you were really smart. The way it is packaged in the styrofoam, this piece is here, this piece is in a separate spot. So there's no chance of us trying to take this out and having the car fall, forgetting that it's not attached in here. We have it unattached because you can create your own scene if you want to have the car coming out, you want to have the car going under, or if you want to have it all the way under the way it was for a little while in the movie. So your choice, it's your scene, you can have it set up any way you want. But it's a really detailed set. And as you can see, there's a lot of, you know, there's the chains on the logs and all the accoutrement that goes on a big long hauler like that. So it's a really nice piece. So that we have, and it's called I'm in Complete Control. I'm not sure, Clark. Okay, the next one we're going to show is the Holiday Flats. This is, yep. This is another one of my favorite. Oops, I did this. Let's get some light on the subject here. And this is a Snow Village piece. I really like this one. Scott did a nice job of creating this one, and it's an apartment building. And obviously here in the Twin Cities, we call buildings like this flats because, of course, they have flat roofs. And flats originally came from Europe, and they were in probably the mid 18th century. And the higher you went, the smaller the units got, and you know, the richer people lived on the lower floors, the less rich people and maybe the servants lived upstairs. That was, you know, traditionally the way it was. But here in the United States, I think everybody's on pretty equal ground. But this shows a 4-unit building. And what I think is really fun about this, and Scott had a good time doing this, is each flat is decorated differently for the holidays. You know, this one, they even went all out, put a Merry Christmas sign up. They've got some red and white garland. Downstairs, they've got a wreath on the door and just some nice, tasteful garland on their railing. Here they've got lights. So there's lots going on this piece. Some nice sisal trees. So that it's just a really nice piece for your Snow Village display. So that is Holiday Flats. Yeah, let's bring in now, as Rebecca did a nice job of showing the difference. This is the accessory that goes with it, and I'm really excited about this. Let's see this. Can we see his beard real well? This one is called the Super Super. And there's a little kitty in there because some of us have cats. I think Rick wanted a cat in there because he has cats. But it just shows, you know, the Super is on his way to do something at one of the flats. He's got a ladder, and he's got his tool belt on, and he's got his tools in his little tool chest there. This is one of those pieces that's going to be versatile. It doesn't have to go with the flats. It can go with one of many other buildings. So we're always looking for additional people to add to our village, and I think this is a real nice one. So again, that one is called the Super Super. And he's got his hammer on the side there. So, you know, lots of detail. I think Kiri Nafstead must have done this one. So she did a nice job. He's got his hard hat on. So cute. Okay, so let's pull this out. Let me do this. Otherwise, we got a big blinding light. Okay, the next one we're going to show is for Christmas Lane, And it is called the newest, and if I counted right, it's the 20th edition. It is called O Holy Night, and it is based on the, of course, named for the popular Christmas carol that was written in the mid-19th century and based on a French Christmas carol. It comes with the angels you see here. The nativity is attached. There's lots of lighting going on. So the angels are lit, the star over the house is lit, the angel on the nativity set is lit. Lots of detail here. Cute little blue house with a pretty gray roof, and you can see lights in the window. The welcome mat's out, the wreath on the front door. Just a very pretty piece, and a nice addition to Christmas Lane, which by my count is 20 pieces long now. So we're always looking for new ideas for our Christmas Lane. So if you've got something that we haven't done before, an idea, please let us know, because we're always interested in your ideas, because it's your village and we want them to have ideas that are appropriate for your village. So this, we can just unhook the whole thing. There you go. All right. And then the next piece we've got, oh, I'm so excited about this one. All right. Rebecca,
did you turn it on?
I didn't turn it on yet. No, I want to get it to sit flat. Rebecca, your hands are becoming stars today. This is new for North Pole. Paul Lundberg, of course, is the artist that does these pieces, and there's a lot going on these pieces. Rebecca, if you could hand me that ornament. I want to just, on the top of glass ornaments, there's always this ornament holder, and Paul really went the extra mile to make sure that his ornament house, called Nornie's Ornament House, looks like a regular ornament. So it looks like he just took an ornament like this and turned it a little on its side, and now it's been turned into a little house for one of the elves at the North Pole. And isn't Nornie kind of an elfy kind of name? He was going to call it Ornies, but Ornies sounds like he's kind of crabby. Ornery kind of thing. So it's Nornie's for North Pole Ornament House. And it's really, really a cute little piece. It's got a very small footprint, as you can see. It's not very big at all if you look at my hand how small it is. But it's got this cute little top, just like a regular ornament. And if you remember back in the 90s when we were doing lots and lots of glass ornaments, it even has the little charm and the 56, the way we used to do our ornaments. So lots of detail there. And if there's any other ones that are going to be done, I think Paul will add that to those as well. Hint, hint. So very cute. And to go with that, and this is another really versatile piece. This one is called, get the name right for you, Sparkling Highlights. And this is two elves kind of going up and putting some finishing touches to put the sparkle on Nornie's Ornament House. But it could be two elves putting the sparkling touches on any house. And it's just really cute. I love the elves on the ladder. Really, really lots of detail there for this one. Okay, I love how you're remembering to do that. I don't always remember that. So, and there is a little opening, a little window on each side of this, so it gets plenty of light. So you can see there's light there. I think there's two lights in front and on each side and in the backs and in the door. So there's lots of light going on for this particular piece. So it's another piece for North Pole. Is going to be one that I guess if you know me at all, you know that this one is going to be a favorite of mine. And Paul didn't ask me one thing about it before he did it. This is North Pole Christmas Quilts. It's an A-frame, and the roof line is all a quilt. And if you like me, I think it's absolutely spectacular. When I took it out of the box today, I noticed there were two little add-on attachments. This is permanently attached, the little lantern over the door, but this little sign here is an attachment. And then there was a second one, and I thought, well, where does that one go? Well, this is the quilt shop, and there's another little business on the side. If you turn it on the side, you will see that this is the button shop over here, and that's where the other little hanging sign goes, and it's a little button on a pole there. Very cute. Paul did a lot of detail on this, and you can see buttons there, buttons up there. On the front, there's buttons. Really, really cute. And instead of putting topiaries or something, he's got little spools of thread out in front. Just really, really cute. And wait till you see the accessory. This is the accessory, and it is called Every Quilt Kid Tested. Say that fast 3 times. This piece comes separate, so you'll get it in the box. It'll look like this, has a little spot in the center where you attach the little child who is getting bounced up and down. Here in the Twin Cities, we have a winter festival every year that is called St. Paul Winter Carnival. And one of the things they do is this blanket toss. And that may be where Paul got the idea from, but really cute. So 2 bigger elves are kid testing the quilt and throwing a little elf up in the air. So the way they've got it, it looks like the little elf is suspended in the air. Getting any questions or anything that I need to answer, Rebecca? Good. We're doing a good job of showing everything, and look at in the back side, everything is, there's a button up there. It's just, there's lots of detail. This is really cute. And again, it's not a very big piece, so it will be quite easy to add to your village. Okay. Flip that off quick, 'cause I just hate that light showing. And
too soon.
nope, no, you're fine. Okay, this is for Dickens Village. We tried to mix it up a little bit. Now Rebecca may have to do we may have to do a little adjusting here because it's a taller piece. This is St. James Hall. Love this piece. St. James Hall is an actual place in London. It opened in 1858. And it was designed by a well-known architect there named Owen Jones, who had a hand in designing some of the inside of the Crystal Palace that Prince Albert was involved in probably about 20 years before. And it was a concert hall. It held 2,000 people. And the reason we decided to add it, other than it was a beautiful piece, it's a beautiful piece, it also stood on a corner, so it has entrances on the side and in the front. And the part of it that I would like to show you is that this is the place where Dickens did his farewell readings back in 1868. He died in 1870, so in 1868 he was not in good health, and he negotiated and agreed to do some programs, some readings from some of his books. And it started with some readings from some of his Christmas stories, including A Christmas Carol. And it was for an enormous sum of money. At the time, it was 8,000 pounds. Excuse me. And I looked that up today, and they said in 2022 money, it would be well over $1 million. So he wanted to make some good money towards the end to leave his family so that they would be taken care of. So he did his readings at St. James Hall. And he did 12 final performances starting in January of 1870. And he gave his last performance on March 15th and died in June of that same year. So he did this right before he passed away. And on the side here, can we see that well enough, Rebecca? On the side here, it shows a billboard that announces the Dickens reading that would be taking place at St. James Hall. So when Tom Bates designed this piece, he really did a lot of research and made sure everything was accurate, and it truly is, it's a beautiful piece. And the accessory that goes with it is this one, and this again is Dickens. You can see, let's kind of show it by itself. It's maybe a little easier. Let's just get rid of that for now so we can see the piece. It is Dickens talking to a young woman, and when I asked today who the young woman was, they said could be his wife, could be his mistress, or it could be one of his daughters, Mamie or Katie. And the name of the accessory, and you can see she's putting her hand on his heart and says, "I will honor Christmas in my heart," which is a line from A Christmas Carol. So it's a very appropriate piece and very nicely done. And that was done by Kiri, our sculptor, who has been doing lots of really nice accessories. Okay, and the last piece is for our Harry Potter fans. And let's get it lit up here so we can see it appropriately. We are adding the Shrieking Shack for Harry Potter. All right. And it does look a little crooked, but I guess that's the way it's supposed to be. And there is Harry Potter's The Shrieking Shack, along with the accessory that is called Come Out and Play, Peter. And I think Peter is the rat?
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay,
Yep.
Rebecca knows the story better than I do. But you can see here's the Shrieking Shack, and here is the accessory. And again, and remember, all of the Harry Potter pieces have this extreme detail because they are made of resin, which is something that our licensors really like because they really like the detail that we are able to accomplish with that. And these were done by Paul Lundberg as well. The last thing I want to show you, and I guess will show me.
Someone was asking about that.
Okay, good. So if you want to show the last thing, hi, you haven't seen much of me, is we've got the village brochure ready to go. This is the 2022 brochure. I think, what did I look? 131 pages. It's got everything that's new and brought back from last year. It will be added to our list of online items you can purchase starting over the weekend. So you will be able to go online and make this purchase. I believe the cost is going to be $6 this year, but well worth it. A lot of people like to have something to hold in their hand and be able to mark it up and decide what pieces they're going to buy and what pieces they're going to go past or whatever. So this will be available either over the weekend or starting next week. So earlier than we've ever had the brochure before, so I'm very excited about that. And the last thing I wanted to mention is to thank everyone. I was looking before Christmas for some interesting things. I looked for some display ideas from other collectors, and I pulled some pictures and posted them. And I was just amazed at how many of you commented and liked these pictures that I posted. I mean, we had some that were in very traditional settings. We had some that were displayed a little differently, maybe how they positioned the houses. Some added a park. Some, there was one that was done like against a wall, but it was done as a tree. I thought that was very clever. And in going back and looking at how many people liked and commented, the one with the most reactions was Tina Robinson's display, and hers was the one on the fireplace mantle and then in the fireplace. I loved that one. It was simple, but it was elegant. It just shows that you don't need to be real complicated, but your display is your own, and how you display it is really up to you, and how you want to show your pieces in your home and what kind of creativity you have. And I know a lot of people show their display, well, mine isn't as good as everybody else. Well, it's your display, and if you're happy with it, we're happy with it too. So I'm hoping to show some different displays next year, so if you've got pictures of things, send them in to us, show them on Facebook. I'll gather some, and next year we'll do the same thing and show you some of the things that you've been doing over the year. So we'll see you in February, and we hope you have a great rest of the month of January. Bye-bye.